What's up, guys? Mustafa here, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 key ways you're going to use AI in your sales process in 2025 and beyond. Each step of the sales process, there's a way that you can inject AI into your process to make your job a lot easier so that A, you can close at a higher rate, and B, talk to more people because you can sift through opportunities much quicker. So you will make yourself irreplaceable rather than being replaced by AI. Learn to use AI so that you can become known as an AI integrator. Let's get into it. The first step is you need to be able to know who you're talking to with AI and can run a deep research analysis on a specific person, and it will scrape the internet about that individual person, everything about them. And you can go deeper than just credentials. What's the value of their home? Who else lives in that home? So if you're dealing with consumers, you want to find that out. If you're dealing with businesses, on the other hand, you want to understand who is this person? What is his role or her role? What's at stake for them? What's happening at this company? What's happening in their organization? If they're in the IT, in the department, if they're the head of IT, and what's going on at this company that could potentially be affecting them. You want to get as much intelligence as you can, and you can use AI deep research, particularly to find out a lot about a specific person, a specific company, and a specific organization within a company, and start to anticipate their needs, their pain points. So you want to just use this as a way to develop a sense of knowing the person. And what that does for you is when you meet this person for the first time, you get the sense that you know this person, you have a heartfelt hello and greeting to them because you feel like you already know this person. And as a result, you'll be able to start building trust and rapport pretty much right away. And the more knowledge you have about a person, the more intelligent the questions that you'll be able to ask them will be that are relevant to their situation. So some of the things that come out in this research might be like this company just got acquired or they're about to acquire a company. You really should bring up those sort of important milestones. And the second way you're going to want to use AI in sales is in the problem understanding and the problem finding phase. And what I like about AI is that it can generate a list of problem probing questions for you based on a particular person's situation. Now that you've done the research about this person, you want to take the relevant data and put that into AI. And you might want to ask, hey, based on the information that I have about this person, about this company, and what you know about my product and my services, generate me a list of 100 questions that could help me probe and find the problem, the pain points that this customer might be experiencing. You don't want to just jump into solutioning in sales. You want to develop and qualify that customer, that prospect with what problems that they're dealing with. And having relevant, pointed questions that are very related to your product, your service, and their problem, you can start to help yourself to develop the problem, clarify the problem, so that later on, when the problem is crystal clear, not just to you, but to the client, they will automatically start to connect the dots of your solution. The more problem clarifying you can do, the less selling you're going to have to do on the back end. If the customer doesn't sense that they have a problem or that there is any sense of urgency, Doesn't matter how good your solution was, they're not gonna take it. If someone's not hungry, they're not gonna eat. The hungrier that person is, the more of a problem that person has, the more pain that they sense, the easier it is for them to realize that, oh, I want that. And instantly your product is sold with very little selling. So problem clarification up front, the more you do, the better it is for you. And the best way to clarify problems is by asking problem probing questions. And you can have ChatGPT or any AI generate lists of hundreds of these, particularly about your prospect. So that person may have just gotten married and you sell life insurance. You want to have questions about that. So AI can help you design beautiful questions that are not prying questions or questions that feel yucky. So that's the second way you're going to want to use AI in your sales process. The next way you're going to want to use AI in your sales process is by helping you design a beautiful presentation. Yes, you might already have a well-crafted presentation that's been handed to you by your company, and they say, go and present this exactly the way we tell you to present it, and that's all right. But there is always room for improvement, and there's always room for you to practice that presentation with AI to make you an even better presenter. Having an AI coach review your presentations and help you find ways to improve upon that so that you can close better next time or deliver better next time. This is the revolution, okay? You used to have to pay sales coaches $1,000 an hour so that they can watch you present and criticize you and tell you what to do. Those days are over. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just upload your data, upload your recording, and upload a rubric and ask AI to give you a critique. Ask it, where can I improve in my presentation? How many ums and ahs, and where did I stutter? What did I miss? All kinds of questions that you can ask. I'm thinking about designing a pre-built rubric or a GPT for this particular purpose. So if you're interested in that, be sure to follow and subscribe to my email list so I can send it out to you once it's ready. But for the time being, you want to understand that your presentation is only going to get better with proper coaching. And if you don't have $1,000 an hour to spend on a human coach, you're going to want to do it with AI. So the next way you're going to want to use AI in your sales process is by creative objection handling. When I say creative objection handling, I'm not talking about these memorized rebuttals that you're taught by Zig Ziglar and Grant Cardone, the Closer Survival Guide. I'm not saying that those are bad either. Those are great. There are great ways to start, but they don't fit every single context and every single scenario. You have a unique product, a unique service, in a unique market, in a unique niche. And those objections are not universal. They're just not. Everyone's got different ways of handling the objections in their industry and their particular segment of the market. Different kinds of customers, different personalities. And so what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to start writing down the biggest objections that you get, the most common objections that you get. And with every time you get stopped in a sale, you're going to want to record that. You're going to want to find out what it was, the real objection. And you're going to want to feed that information into AI and have AI brainstorm 100 ways to creatively overcome this particular roadblock, right? One of the favorite books that I have is Trump's Art of the Deal. And the reason why I love that book so much, not politically motivated, but I've read that book before Trump ever even became president. But that book taught me that there's always a way if you just are creative enough. There's always a way to make a deal. Everyone has got a price, right? Everyone's got something. You just got to find out what that is and position it in a creative way. The problem is most people don't believe that they're creative enough. I'm not going to get into a whole tangent on creativity right now, but I do believe that we are all deeply creative. It's just that we don't practice it and we forgot how to do it since we were kids. But with ChatGPT, with AI, it's a little easier because you can borrow its creativity and start to try different ways of overcoming these particular objections. If you're in an industry where you sell over email, you have a great advantage here because if you get stuck, you don't know how to respond to someone's objection or block in sort of moving on to the next step of the process, you can just literally take that conversation, paste it into ChatGPT, asking, what would you do in this situation in order to help move this process along? Give me 10 ways to overcome this, right? Give me 100 ways to get past this block. How can I negotiate beyond this? That leads me to my next way of using AI, negotiations. Negotiating is my absolute favorite part of the job. If it wasn't for negotiation, I wouldn't do what I do. I do it to do it. I love the art of negotiating. It's literally the most fun thing that I look forward to. And it's what gives me the most fulfillment and satisfaction when I can go into a negotiation and create a win-win situation for both me and my clients. And they love me for it. And they'll love you for it too. And if you don't know how to negotiate, if you don't know how to do that well, if that's one of your issues, then you need to leverage ChatGPT to practice your negotiation skills. You can either use a real life situation and ask it, what would you do here? What kind of concession would you make here in the negotiation process? I'll make another video just about this, but just understand that you can ask it what to do in any step of a negotiation or come up with ideas for you to try. Not only that, but you can also practice your negotiation by asking ChatGPT to poison as a brute negotiator, and they're trying to get your product at the lowest possible price, and you role play and you practice your negotiation skills and your closing skills. And that's sort of an extension to objection handling because oftentimes an objection is an ask for a concession or an exchange for something. So I think it warrants a whole video, negotiating and objection handling. To recap, these are the ways that you're going to use AI in sales in the future and today, even if you're not already doing it or falling behind. Number one, researching your potential client, your prospects, in order to develop instant rapport and trust. Number two, developing creative problem-probing questions so that you can help clarify the problem as quickly as possible in the most efficient and effective way possible so that selling becomes easy. Number three, helping to design and develop your presentation skills. Number four, coming up with creative and novel ways of overcoming objections. Number five, executing the perfect negotiations. Those are the 5 ways that you're going to use AI in sales in 2025 and beyond.